Assalamu alaikum. Today we discuss the topic that is the uncertainty. Last time we discussed about the how to measure the small distance and how to measure the large distance, which unit is used for measure the small distance and which unit is used for measure the large distance. Today our topic is uncertainty. What is uncertainty? Uncertainty mean how unsure we are about our measurements. Every time we measure something like that length, weight, and time. There is always a little doubt exists. That doubt is called uncertainty. So today here we discuss about the uncertainty. First we write it definition. What is uncertainty? Uncertainty means uncertainty means how unsure we are about our measurements. Every time we measure something like length, weight, time, there is always a there is always a little doubt. That doubt is called uncertainty. That doubt is called uncertainty. Now we discuss it formula. What is the formula of the uncertainty we use? Uncertainty that we take the measurements is equal to best estimate, that value that we calculate the best estimate, then we plus minus the uncertainty. Now we write the example. In the example, we take the measurements of rod. If you measure a rod and fix length to be that length we measure, that is the 5.07 plus minus 0.02 gram. Now in this value, if we add the, then it is give us the 5.09. and when we subtract these two values, then it gives the 5.05. So our value is lie between the 5.05 and 5.09. So here we write that this means the actual value lies between 5.05 gram and 5.09 gram. Okay हो गया. Now we clear about the what is uncertainty. Uncertainty is basically a doubt in the our measurements. We doubt can be clear by plus and minus the doubt. Here when we plus it, it gives us the 5.09. When we subtract it, it gives us the 5.05. So our values lies between 5.05 and 5.09. That is the all about the uncertainty. Then next we discussed about the types of uncertainty. Here the two types of the uncertainty. First one is absolute uncertainty and second one is relative or percentage uncertainty. First we discuss the absolute uncertainty. What is the absolute uncertainty? It shows how much a value could vary in the same unit as the measurements. So here we write that what is the absolute uncertainty? It shows how much a value could vary in the same unit as the measurements. If we take the example of the absolute uncertainty, if the mass is that is given 3.3 plus minus 0.2 kg, then here we minus the 0.2, this is the absolute uncertainty, then 0.2 is the absolute uncertainty. Okay, now we talk about the relative or percentage uncertainty. What is the relative or percentage uncertainty? This shows how big the uncertainty is compared to the value. Which value is measured, then how much is uncertainty is exists is called the relative or percentage uncertainty. So here we write that this shows how big the uncertainty is compared to the value. It's written as percentage uncertainty is equal to change in value over the Meyer value. If we take the example for understand the percentage uncertainty, here we take the mass that is equal to 3.3 kg and change in mass that is the 0.2 kg. Then relative or percentage uncertainty is equal to 0.2 over 3.3 multiply 100, that is equal to 6.1%. That is, we calculate the relative or absolute uncertainty. We also understand it with the example what is the relative or absolute uncertainty. Now we discuss about the important points about the uncertainty. Here we discuss about the important points. Important point of uncertainty. Uncertainty is not the same as the error. Error basically is the difference between the measured value and true value, and uncertainty doubt about how accurate your measurements is. Okay. Now we write about the uncertainty is not the same as error. Now we discuss what is the error. The difference between the difference between the measured value and true value is the error. What is the uncertainty? Uncertainty is doubt about how accurate your measurements is. Okay, now in next point we discussed that the absolute uncertainty is added. When we add the absolute uncertainty, here we write that the absolute uncertainty are added always add uncertainty when you add or subtract the measurements. If you take the measurements, if you add those measurements, add or subtract the always add the uncertainty when you add or subtract the measurements. When we take the two measurements, when we add them, then also add the uncertainty on those values. Second, we discuss about the when we add the percentage uncertainty. Percentage uncertainty are added. Okay, when you multiply or dividing the measurements, always add the percentage uncertainty. Last we discussed that when we add or subtract the measurements, then always add the absolute uncertainty. Here the when the percentage uncertainty are added when you multiply or dividing the measurements. So here we write that always add the percentage uncertainties when we multiply or dividing measurements. Then sometime we have measure the values is come in the power. Then how we add the uncertainty in the power value? If a quantity has a power value, then we multiply the percentage uncertainty by the power. So here we write that percentage uncertainty are added now. When the percentage or uncertainty are multiplied, here we take the percentage uncertainty are multiplied if a quantity has a if a quantity has a power, then multiply the percentage uncertainty by the power. That is all about the percentage uncertainty are added when multiplying or dividing the measurements. And percentage uncertainty are multiplied. If you have a quantity has a power, then the multiply the percentage uncertainty by the power value. That is all about the percentage uncertainty. Hope you like my videos. Please support me if you like me. Like me, subscribe me and share me. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.